blueprints tonight. No more what if, no more someday. We're clearing the rubble out of the way. Light it up, watch it burn. Everything they taught us is stuff we can't unlearn. Tearing up the floor, we don't need a key to an open door. Let the ashes fly like a black ink snow. We're making it up as we go, as we go. It's a beautiful mess, it's a lawless design. In a world made of circles with a jagged line. Yeah, we're burning the blueprints tonight. Hey, hey. Yeah, we're burning the blueprints tonight. Just us. Hey. Plans, just us. Hey, hey. Watch it burn. I'm a blur on the asphalt, a ghost on the street, trying to keep up with your heart's frantic beat. The speedometer's lying, the needle is pinned. We're losing our voices in the howl of the wind. I used to be static, I used to be still. Now I'm a runaway rolling downhill. One look at you and the physics all change. The laws of the universe are getting rearranged. Don't blink or you'll miss the distortion. We're reaching a lethal proportion. The pressure is building, the windows are shaking, and I'm loving every single rule that we're breaking. It shakes slow, fast sonic boom, leaving a trail through the middle of the room. Faster than a shadow, louder than a lie, breaking every record in a blink of an eye. It's a shockwave kiss, it's a thunderous yes, leaving the rest of the world in a mess. Yeah, we're chasing the sonic boom tonight. They're watching the vapor, they're watching the smoke, trying to treat our momentum like a joke. But we're a kinetic chemical spark, carving a tunnel through the middle of the dark. You're the acceleration, you're the G-force pull. I'm tired of the empty, let's make it feel full. We're chasing the sonic boom, boom, leaving a trail through the middle of the room. Faster than a shadow, louder than a lie, breaking every record in a blink of an eye. It's a shockwave kiss, it's a thunderous yes, leaving the rest of the world in a mess. Yeah, we're chasing the sonic boom tonight. Can you feel the air snap? Can you feel the time gap? Catch it, grab it, turn it into a habit. We're chasing the sonic boom, leaving a trail through the middle of the room. Faster than a shadow, louder than a lie, breaking every record in a blink of an eye. It's a shockwave kiss, it's a thunderous yes, leaving the rest of the world in a mess. Yeah, we're chasing the sonic boom tonight. Beyond the sound, we're never coming down. Sonic boom. The city's breathing neon and diesel fumes. in the cracks of the sidewalk where nothing ever blooms. I've been stepping over shadows, avoiding the light, just another ghost in the middle of the night. But I saw a flash of crimson in the great scale rain, a beautiful defiance, a sweet kind of pain. You're standing on the corner where the dreams go to die, with a catch me if you can, look in your eyes. The soil is shallow and the air is thin, but look at the trouble we're getting in. We weren't born in a garden, we weren't raised in the sun. We're the jagged survivors, we're the only ones. We're concrete roses, growing in the dark, finding a fire from a cold iron spark. Petals made of velvet and thorns made of steel, the only thing in this city that's real. Let the pavement crack, let the towers fall, we're blooming on the far side of the wall. Concrete roses, yeah, we're tougher than the stone. They try to pave us over, they try to keep us down, underneath the weight of this nobody town. But roots go deeper than the subway line, searching for the water, ignoring the signs that say keep off the grass and don't touch the sky. We're the living proof that our heart doesn't lie. We're concrete roses, growing in the dark, finding a fire from a cold iron spark. Petals made of velvet and thorns made of steel, the only thing in this city that's real. Let the pavement crack, let the towers fall, we're blooming on the far side of the wall. Concrete roses, yeah, we're tougher than the stone. I'll bleed for the beauty, I'll fight for the grace, I'll find a way to thrive in this God-forsaken place. Nothing can break it, nothing can shake this. We're concrete roses, growing in the dark, finding a fire from a cold iron spark. Petals made of velvet and thorns made of steel, the only thing in this city that's real. Let the pavement crack, let the towers fall, we're blooming on the far side of the wall. Concrete roses, yeah, we're tougher than the stone. Concrete roses, through the cracks in the street, still blooming, still breathing. I was a machine with a rusted out core, counting down the seconds on a cold stone floor. Just a circuit waiting for a reason to close. In a world made of binary and rows upon rows. Then you touch my hand and the break is all blue. The sky turned a shade of high voltage blue. I You're the first thing to ever make me feel warm. You're my electric soulmate, lighting up the grid, unlocking every secret that I ever kept hid. It's a 1,000-volt kiss, it's a hum in the bone, the loudest frequency I've ever known. Surge through the system, blow out the lights, we're burning at 1,000,000 degrees tonight. My electric soulmate. They say love is a flower, they say love is a dream, but you're the white heat and the high pressure steam. You're the kinetic energy, the power in the line, a digital miracle, a perfect day design. We're fused at the hip, we're soldered at the soul, one massive charge that's out of control. You're my electric soulmate, lighting up the grid, unlocking every secret that I ever kept hid. It's a 1,000-volt kiss, it's a hum in the bone, the loudest frequency I've ever known. Surge through the system, blow out the lights, we're burning at 1,000,000 degrees tonight. My electric soulmate. Overload, I'm going into overload. Don't pull the plug, don't let the fire erode where it lives. You're my electric soulmate, lighting up the grid, unlocking every secret that I ever kept hid. It's a 1,000-volt kiss, it's a hum in the bone, the loudest frequency I've ever known. Surge through the system, blow out the lights, we're burning at 1,000,000 degrees tonight. My electric soulmate. Connected, fully charged, never powered down. The air is crowded with 1,000,000 different ghosts, radio towers and digital hosts. Everyone's screaming, but nobody's heard. Lost in the static of a hollowed out word. I was a drifter on a dead-end band, sifting through the whiteness for a helping hand. Then the needle stopped moving, the dial went still. I felt a vibration, a sudden kind of thrill. It's not in the lyrics, it's not frequency of us. Can you feel the alignment? Can you feel the assignment? We're on the same page, we're on the same wave. The only connection we ever have to say. Full band explode. We're tuning into the frequency of us, leaving the doubt in the distance, in the dust. High definition, crystalline sound, the only direction that's ever been found. Sync up the heartbeat, lock in the phase. We're burning a hole through the mercury haze, on the frequency of us. The frequency of us. Loud and clear. Yeah, I hear you loud and clear. Yeah, I hear you loud and clear. Frequency of us. The iron gates are rusted shut, but the wind still gets inside, carrying the secrets that the broken people hide. I've been wandering these roads since the sun went down, the king of a quiet, forgotten part of town. Every headstone is a story of a heart that hit the floor, and I'm just another shadow knocking on the door. I thought I was the only one buried in the grave, counting all the reasons why the feeling
Shall we flip the switch to something high voltage with electric soulmate?
The neon signs are flickering like a dying star in the parking lot of a midnight bar. I spent a lifetime looking for a solid ground, lost in the static, buried in the sound. Then you walked in like a power chord strike, the kind of forever that I actually like. I felt the iron in my blood start to hum, and the rhythm of a different kind of drum. It's a long way up from the valley of the stone, but I'm not climbing this mountain alone. We're forged in the fire, we're tempered in the cold, trading in the silver for a heart of gold. We're living in a heavy metal heaven tonight. Guitars like lightning, souls burning bright. It's a wall of sound, it's a temple of steel, the only thing that's ever been real. No more silence, no more maybe. You're the anthem that's finally saved me in the heat of a heavy metal heaven. They say that soft is the way that love should be, but they've never seen the fire in you and me. You're a high-gain secret, a distorted grace, a celestial riot in a leather-bound place. We don't need a harp, we don't need a cloud, we just need the music played fast and loud. We're living in a heavy metal heaven tonight. Guitars like lightning, souls burning bright. It's a wall of sound, it's a temple of steel, the only thing that's ever been real. No more silence, no more maybe. You're the anthem that's finally saved me in the heat of a heavy metal heaven. Yeah. Raise the volume, raise the bar. We're not chasing the wish on a star. We're the thunder, we're the light, we're the ones who are metal heaven. Yeah, we're never coming down. Just you and me and the sound.
I was a fortress, I was a stone, content to be a king on a quiet throne. Then you showed up on the edge of the dark with a hollow point kiss and a blinding spark. I didn't hear the warning, I didn't see the light until the first shell landed in the middle of the night. The perimeter's breached, the wires are cut, every door I ever kept bolted and shut is flying off the hinges, turning into dust in a beautiful storm of longing and trust. You're my midnight artillery, raining from the sky, the only thing that's making me feel truly alive. Break down the gates, let the cannons roar. I'm not the man I was anymore. It's a mirage of grace, a thundering heart, tearing every shadow and silence apart in the fire of your midnight artillery. They say surrender is a sign of the weak, but they never heard the way that you speak. You're a rhythmic bombardment, a tactical strike, the kind of forever that I actually like. You're not here to conquer, you're here to release the part of my soul that was dying for peace. You're my midnight artillery, raining from the sky, the only thing that's making me feel truly alive. Break down the gates, let the cannons roar. I'm not the man I was anymore. It's a barrage of grace, a thundering heart, tearing every shadow and silence apart in the fire of your midnight artillery. Fire, fire, no return. Aim for the center, aim for the soul. I'm giving you total and final control. You're my midnight artillery. You're my midnight artillery, raining from the sky, the only thing that's making me feel truly alive. Break down the gates, let the cannons roar. I'm not the man I was anymore. It's a barrage of grace, a thundering heart, tearing every shadow and silence apart in the fire of your midnight artillery. Midnight artillery. The walls are down, yeah, the walls are all down. The engine's humming like a prayer in the dark. I'm looking for a flame, but you're the lightning spark. I've spent a lifetime building walls out of stone, and just to realize I'm sick of being king of the alone. Then you hit the headlights, you broke the glass, and now I'm watching my in the middle of the night. So crank the volume, let the speakers blow. I've got nowhere else I ever wanna go. Let the world go dark, let the sun turn cold. As long as I've got your hand to hold, we can burn this bridge, we can start a fire. Higher and higher and higher and higher. You're the anthem playing in a dead-end town, the only hand reaching when the ship goes down. It's a crash, it's a burn, it's a beautiful flood. You're running through my veins like neon blood. Static and thunder, grace and gasoline. You're the loudest love, you're the loudest that I've ever seen. The loudest love. Yeah, you're the rhythm and the static. Neon blood. I was a statue in a garden of rust, turning to powder, turning to dust. The gears were seized and the oil was dry under a heavy mercury sky. I forgot how to move, I forgot how to feel. Just a cold complication of carbon and steel. Then you broke the seal, you cracked the glass, and I felt the first breath of the future past. I was starving for a spark in the middle of the cold, in a world that was bought, in a heart that was sold. But you're the reaction, the chemical change, making the familiar feel beautiful and strange. You're the oxygen, I'm the iron, the only thing keeping me out of the Zion. I love the quiet, the dead, and the perfectly still. You're the fire in the engine, the force in the will. Take the weight of the metal, give it a soul. You're the only thing making the broken parts whole. Oxygen and iron, yeah, we're burning together. Yeah, we're burning together. Every breath is a riot, every heartbeat's a war against the gravity, pulling me down to the floor. But your hand is a magnet, your spirit's a light, conducting the current in the middle of the night. We're fused at the atoms, we're welded at the bone, the strongest alloy the world's ever known. You're the oxygen. frequency hum of a broken string. I spend my life keeping my volume low, hiding the parts of me that I didn't want to show. Then you walked in like a brick through the glass, making the ghosts of my past finally pass. It started as a whisper, a tiny spark, a little bit of light and a whole lot of dark. But now my pulse is a drum and the beat is getting loud. I'm sick of being just another face in the crowd. You're right in the quiet, a storm in my chest. You're the only reason I can't get no rest. Break down the doors, let the feedback scream. You're the waking life in a grayscale dream. Yeah, you're the chaos that I finally need. A beautiful riot and I'm letting it leave. They say silence is golden, but I think it's a lie. It's just a slow way for a heart to go dry. But with you it's a roar, it's a heavy metal rain, washing the dust off the windows of my brain. You don't ask for permission, you don't ask for a sign. You just stepped across the do not cross line. You're right in the quiet, a storm in my chest. You're the only reason I can get no rest. Break down the doors, let the feedback scream. You're the waking life in a grayscale dream. Yeah, you're the chaos that I finally need. A beautiful riot and I'm letting it leave. Turn it up, I wanna hear the world shake. Turn it up, for every heart that didn't break. I was a graveyard, I was a stone, but you're the loudest love I've ever known. You're right in the quiet, a storm in my chest. You're the only reason I can get no rest. Break down the doors, let the feedback scream. You're the waking life in a grayscale dream. You're right in the quiet, a storm in my chest. You're the only reason I can get no rest. Break down the doors, let the feedback scream. You're the waking life in a grayscale dream. Yeah, you're the chaos that I finally need. A beautiful riot and I'm letting it leave. A riot in the quiet, a riot in the quiet. say the universe is expanding every day, pivoting the pieces, pushing us away. But there's a tether made of starlight between your soul and mine, defying every law, crossing every line. I don't need an atlas, I don't need a map, I just follow the rhythm across the gap. Ooh, it's a satellite heartbeat pulsing through the void, bringing me back from the stars I destroyed. You're the gravity pulling, the light in the lens, the place where the silence finally ends. Can you hear me calling? Can you feel the transmission? You're the only mission, my satellite heartbeat. The oxygen is low, but the spirit is high. We're the only two things burning in this sky. Transmission receive loud and clear, loud and clear. It's a satellite heartbeat pulsing through the void, bringing me back from the stars I destroyed. You're the gravity pulling, the light in the lens, the place where the silence finally ends. Can you hear me calling? Can you feel the transmission? You're the only mission, my satellite heartbeat. Orbiting you, always orbiting you. Syncing up now. Do you wanna keep exploring the outer space metaphors? Or should we come back down to earth with velocity of love? sudden kind of poise, and the world stopped blurring the horizon start to bend and sway. A warning sign, I chose to look away from today. I was a tower built on solid ground, proud of the silence, safe in the profound. But you're a gravity I didn't see coming, a rhythmic thunder, a distant drumming, and suddenly the earth is slipping from my feet. There's no use in screaming, no use in a prayer. The oxygen is thinning in the high altitude air. I'm leaning out over the jagged edge of maybe, and I'm letting go of the world that used to save me. It's a beautiful crash, a slow motion fall. I'm breaking every window, I'm hitting every wall, and I've never felt more alive than when I'm shattered by a love that proves that before never mattered. Tumble through the starlight, burn in the sun. The beautiful crash has only just begun. Yeah. The wreckage is silver, the debris is gold. A different kind of story than the one I was told. They said protect your heart and keep it under lock, but they never felt the tremor, they never felt the shock of a soul colliding with its missing half. In the middle of the fire I can finally laugh. It's a beautiful crash, a slow motion fall. I'm breaking every window, I'm hitting every wall, and I've never felt more alive than when I'm shattered by a love that proved that before never mattered. Tumble through the starlight, burn in the sun. The beautiful crash has only just begun. Let the glass fly, let the sparks rain. There's a strange kind of healing in this kind of pain. I don't want the safety, I don't want the floor, I just wanna fall into you forevermore. Forevermore, it's a beautiful crash, a slow motion fall. I'm breaking every window, I'm hitting every wall, and I've never felt more alive than when I'm shattered by a love that proves that before never mattered. Tumble through the starlight, burn in the sun. The beautiful crash has only just begun. Coming down, yeah, we're finally coming down, but we're landing together in the beautiful crash. The tide is pulling harder than it did last night, and the shoreline's just a memory out of sight. I've been treading water till my bones turn to lead, chasing trees and every hollow word the vultures said. The sky's turning charcoal, the waves are turning black, and there's 1,000 different currents trying to pull me back. I was ready to let the white noise take me down, to be just another shadow in a ghost shit uptown. But then I felt the weight of your hand in mine, a heavy piece of iron on a silver line. You're the only anchor left in a restless sea, the only thing that's holding on to a wreck like me. Let the hurricane howl, let the ocean roar. I'm not drifting, I'm not searching anymore. Deep in the silt, buried in the sand. You're the gravity that helps me stand, the only anchor left. You're the anchor left. They say cut the rope, and they say set it free, but they've never felt the lightning of your loyalty. In a world made of plastic and shifting ground, you're the only solid thing that I've ever found. You don't ask for a reason, you don't ask for a price, you just hold the line in the middle of the ice. You're the only anchor left in the restless sea, the only thing that's holding on to a wreck like me. Let the hurricane howl, let the ocean roar. I'm not drifting, I'm not searching anymore. Deep in the silt, buried in the sand. No, the gravity that helps me stand, the only anchor left. I was sinking, I was shrinking, I was lost in the no one is thinking. But you held on, yeah, you held on. You're the only anchor left in a restless sea, the only thing that's holding on to a wreck like me. Let the hurricane howl, let the ocean roar. I'm not drifting, I'm not searching anymore. Deep in the silt, buried in the sand. You're the gravity that helps me stand, the only anchor left. Don't let go, don't ever let go, the only anchor left. Don't let me go, the only anchor left. The air is getting heavy, the goals are flying low. A sudden shift in pressure that I didn't even know was coming for the shoreline, coming for the sand of the quiet little life that I carefully planned. I saw you on the horizon, the dark and rising line, and I knew right then that safety wasn't mine. The water's pulling back, the shells are turning white. There's a terrifying beauty in the middle of the light. I could run for the hills, I could try to hide, but I'm already
drowning in the rising of the tide. It's a tidal wave kiss, it's a saltwater soul, taking every piece of me, taking total control. Washing out the city, drowning out the street, pulling all the solid ground from underneath my feet. It's deep, it's blue, it's a beautiful abyss. I'm lost in the rhythm of a tidal wave kiss. They say don't go, indeed they say stay near the shore, but they've never seen a storm like the one behind your door. You're a force of nature, a biological role, and I'm just a drifter who doesn't want the floor. Let the current take me, let the pressure fold. I'm trading in the silver for a liquid kind of gold. It's a tidal wave kiss, it's a saltwater soul, taking every piece of me, taking total control. Washing out the city, drowning out the street, pulling all the solid ground from underneath my feet. It's deep, it's blue, it's a beautiful abyss. I'm lost in the rhythm of a tidal wave kiss. Silence in the deep, secrets that we keep. But we're rising, we're surfing the edge of the end of the it's a saltwater soul, taking every piece of me, taking total control. Washing out the city, drowning out the street, pulling all the solid ground from underneath my feet. It's deep, it's blue, it's a beautiful abyss. I'm lost in the rhythm of a tidal wave kiss. Drown me in it, yeah, drown me in it. Tidal of love.
velocity of love. Faster, keep it moving faster. Don't let the daylight catch us. Velocity. Been drinking from the well of the easy life, and it tasted like a dull blade on a rusted knife. Then you walked in with a neon glow, a high-proof secret that I had to know. One look at you and the room started shaking like a fever in the blood and a heart for the taking. I'm leaning in close to the edge of the glass. It isn't a simmer, it isn't a spark. It's a 90 proof right in the middle of the dark. I'm checking the labels, I'm checking the proof, but I'm already jumping off the top of the roof. You're my wildfire whiskey, burning, going down. The only thing that's keeping me from leaving this town. One part honey and two parts hell. I'm under the hammer, I'm under your spell. Burn me up, baby, let the smoke rise high. You're the only way I ever wanna die, in the heat of that wildfire whiskey. They say watch your liver and watch your soul, but they don't understand the loss of control when the amber light hits the back of the throat and I'm sailing away on a burning boat. You're the kick in the chest, you're the blur in the eye, the most beautiful yes in a world full of why. You're my wildfire whiskey, burning, going down. The only thing that's keeping me from leaving this town. One part honey and two parts hell. I'm under the hammer, I'm under your spell. Burn me up, baby, let the smoke rise high. You're the only way I ever wanna die, in the heat of that wildfire whiskey. I'm addicted to the sting, I'm addicted to the way that you make my head ring. Pour it out, pour it on. I'll be drunk on you until the cold break of dawn. You're my wildfire whiskey, burning, going down. The only thing that's keeping me from leaving this town. One part honey and two parts hell. I'm under the hammer, I'm under your spell. Let the fire rise and the smoke reach the sky. You're the rush that I'm chasing, the ultimate high, in the heat of that wildfire whiskey. twisted piece of metal where the heart used to beat. And the smoke is still rising from the center of the street. We didn't just fall, no, we came down like a plane. A beautiful disaster in a hurricane of pain. I'm picking up the pieces, getting grease on my hands, trying to make sense of the best laid plans. The warning lights are flashing, the sirens are near, but there's a strange kind of peace now. The coast is clear. We're stripped to the bone, we're down to the frame, and I've never loved you more than when we're both to blame. Build a throne in the wreckage of you and me. There's a certain kind of glory in the debris. Let the world keep spinning, let the towers fall, 'cause we're the kings of nothing and we have it all. Scars are just the maps of where we've been. In the wreckage of you and me, I do it all again. They said we were a fire that would burn itself out. Just a couple of kids filled with anger and doubt. But the sparks are still flying in the cold midnight air. And I look at your face and I see a prayer. We're dented and broken, we're rusted and torn, but this is the place where the real us was born. Build a throne in the wreckage of you and me. There's a certain kind of glory in the debris. Let the world keep spinning, let the towers fall, 'cause we're the kings of nothing and we have it all. Scars are just the maps of where we've been. In the wreckage of you and me, I do it all again. I do it all again. It isn't pretty, baby, no, it isn't clean. It's the messiest love that the world's ever seen. Yeah, we're still standing, we're still breathing. I'll build a throne in the wreckage of you and me. There's a certain kind of glory in the debris. Let the world keep spinning, let the towers fall, 'cause we're the kings of nothing and we have it all. Scars are just the maps of where we've been. In the wreckage of you and me, I do it all again. In the wreckage. Yeah, we're home in the wreckage. Just you and me. Should we go for something more in a fake and spacey, next with satellite heartbeat? Or do you wanna crank the speed up?